Hi everyone, I'm Holly and I'm the maker here at Missouri River Soap. In this video today I'm going to show you how I line my soap molds. I've had many requests recently and I thought, why don't I just dedicate a video to the soap mold lining. So I do use wooden soap molds that my husband has built for me, and then I do line them with freezer paper. So let's zoom in and I'll show you what I do. Alright, so we have my wooden mold. I'm going to line two in this video, my smaller one and my little bit larger one. We need some masking tape, my scissors, and my pen. I really like a 2-foot quilting ruler. This has been my favorite. And then I do have some craft freezer paper over here on a big roll. For the bigger mold I'm going to be using white, and I will tell you why in just a moment. So my mold is 18 inches long by 6 inches wide. And what's the height on this one? This one's a pretty high one. This is about 4 3/4, which really works nicely when I have a little higher top on some of my soap. So we're going to set that aside. I am only going to need one piece of paper for this one, which is super handy. So let's see. I am going to do 6.5 inches so that it can come up and over. So I want 6.5. I just make a little mark. I move it over to 6 because 6 to 24 is 18 inches and my mold is 18 inches. I might need a smidge more space here. And then because I want 6.5 inches again, I am just going to move it over to the 17.5 mark and make a little mark. So that gives me 6.5, 18, 6.5. Alright, so now I need to prepare it to just make a box to fit in the mold. So the reason why I'm going to show you the white paper for the next one is because this is supposed to be 18 inches. It is not even quite 17.5. Am I lined up? Here, we'll flip it over. That one shows just that's about 17.5 by the time I align it up appropriately. So I was cheated on this particular one. So I have 17.5 inches. I need 6 out of the middle, which, let me remember, I do believe it's 5.75 is what I'm going to make a marker for here. Of course, this is just my mold, but this is how I do it because I do want it to flip up and just create a nice little box. So then I'm going to measure 6 inches because the 6-inch mark, or 6 inches, it needs to be precise. So here we have 6. I'm going to make another line, and then I should be done with my ruler. I'm going to fold it to each line. These ends are typically fairly straight, so I try to measure off of those. I'm going to go within just a little bit on this one, because invariably I need it to be just a smidgen smaller overall than I have measured. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. And now I want to fold for the edges, the insides. End sides, not insides, even though yes, I am measuring for the inside. So again, I'm going to bring this one in just a smidgen inside my mark. Alright, now what I do is I need to cut. So I'm going to cut the end all the way to my mark on each side. And I'll just flip it around and we'll just do one thing at a time here. Normally I just kind of rotate it. I always like my paper to be just a little bit smaller and then a little bit bigger, because if it's a little bit bigger, then it wrinkles too much. So I need this to easily, this corner, I need this corner to bend in, and it's not going to bend unless I cut it. So I'm going to just cut a little bit, and then this is too big right here. This is too big, so it's just going to get in my way. So I'm going to cut that off. So same on this side. I'm just going to cut down a little, cut off some excess. All right. Now I need to get myself organized, so I am going to fold the ends in, fold these in and over, these in and over, and I always want it to create just a nice little box. So here we have the mold, and this corner needs to go there, and that corner needs to go there. So then I want these, where'd it go? It's still folded down in there. I want these little pieces on the end to be behind the actual end flat. All right, so we're looking good. So just a couple of pieces of tape. That one was folded over very well. I wanted to say felled. That felled over. Fold it over. I always like to do the ends first. Alright, and then because the mold is a little bit high, I don't have a lot of overhang here, but it's fine. It is fine, fine, fine. So I'm just gonna tape that down. And then I just kind of make sure it's all set in there well. There's going to be a little bit of wrinkles. It's just the way it is. And this mold is completed using just one strip of paper. Isn't it so nice? It looks so good. I'm ready to throw some soap in there. Okay, so this is my bigger wood mold. And for this particular mold, we are still 18 inches long. And let me show you why I designed my molds at 18 inches. This is my hanger tool from Nurture Soap. This is the exact reason why all of my molds are made at 18 inches. That is not the entire reason. That is one of two reasons. And the other reason is because I buy the paper at 18 inches long, and so it just works perfectly. However, because the other paper is not appropriately sized, I'm going to show you how to line this one with my white Reynolds freezer paper. And this is just what you get at the grocery store or Walmart. So this mold is 18 inches long, 11 inches wide. It is a little shorter. I would have liked it to be a little bit taller. This one's at 4 inches, but it still works most of the time because but it can get close. It can sometimes squish my soap tops a little bit if there's some big peaks. So I do like these built a little bit bigger. I just forgot that. All right, I'm going to need 2 pieces for this sheet. We are going to do very similar to the last one. I measure it 6.5, move it to the 6, so to 24 is 18, and then back to 17.5, which still gives me 6.5 inches on the end. And then I will have to just cut this, and as you can probably see over here, I'm not the straightest of cutters, so how about we just use the ruler. Give me a good marker there. That may not quite fit on that end. I'm not sure what happened there. I did have this in my roller dispenser thing originally. All right, so let me think this one through. So because I have 11, I need to have 11 right in here. So that means I need to split it between 7, which is 3.5. Because I am working with an appropriate sized 18 inches. Okay, where are you? 3.5. And so then I'm gonna get this one folded. However, this one will be a little bit more difficult to get accurate. This side's fairly accurate. The main reason, and I'll show you here, I have all my molds built so that I can take a slice off of each edge. The freezer paper is going to cause some wrinkles. You know, I may not get it lined quite right, and it pulls at this corner and makes more of a curved edge instead of a crisp edge. And so when I just slice that side off, it allows me to make my loaves very precise, and I have samples. To me, that is a win-win. I don't have to worry about being precise here. All right, pull that in just a smidgen. And then again, down to my marker here. Into this marker. Boy, you can really see how badly I cut last time. I really want to fix it, but I don't think I'll worry about it. It's just, perfection is overrated. So again, I need to cut. I suppose this is throwing my white balance out. Because all of a sudden it's like, holy moly, this is bright. Now I'm not going to cut this here because then I would just cut it off, but I don't want to cut it off. I do need to do here though. I still don't need all that excess there. So I'm going to get this one all folded up. The other thing is these Reynolds, their rolls are so much tighter. So it's kind of a little bit more of a pain to have it prepared here. All right, I'm going to set this aside. Now we need the second one. And on my big molds, I do like the extra layer on the bottom. Now I could just do small amounts just for the sides. I've done that before. I prefer those extra few inches to be added right in the middle. And so this one now is going to lay in my mold lengthwise. So I want 18 here. So I just need the what happened to my pin? 6.5. My pin's falling apart. 6.5, and then we're gonna move that to, let's see, move it to 7 usually, and I just go to 18. So that's 11 inches. So we're just doing 11 inches between my marks because my mold, it's gonna sit in my mold like this, and it's only 11 inches wide. And so then we're going to do just another 6.5. So I just went to an easy spot on my, oops, let's cut it. An easy spot, 12 to 18.5 on my ruler, but it doesn't really apply. That 12 and 18.5, those numbers don't matter in this situation. All right, so now I am just going to fold this away. Inside just a little bit on that one. And then right on for this side. Let's see, were you right on? Nope, you were too big. Alright. Back in with my mold here. So here's the first piece, and it just slides in there. Just nice. Nice, nice, nice. Bring these kind of in. Like I said, these, the tight roll of the freezer paper makes it a little bit irritating. I like to run my thumbs and nails in there, kind of crease it if I can. This one is working very nicely. It's fitting in the mold just wonderfully. Alright, so here we have the first piece. And you can see it almost makes it, but it doesn't quite make it. Again, I could just take a little slice and just like a little bit here and just like put it over. I've done that before. It makes a ridge that I don't love. So I'm just going to do it like this. So now I have my 18. And let's see, how are you fitting? I'm going to have to fold that in just a little bit more on the other side. Just a little too big still. So fold it in just a little bit more so it fits better in here. This one is fitting so nicely now. I like it. Very crisp. I'm fixing to make a rainbow soap today, and I think I will use this mold, yes, with this liner. I have my other mold lined already. I'll show you it. So there we have another mold is just lined perfectly. So here we have these for today. I have its counterpart here. I have two of each that I operate with. So now here is my other big mold lined with the craft, but again, it's not big enough, so I have a gap here. Can you see these gaps? Now I have mold galore. Anyway, I don't know how well you can see, but there's these gaps here. And I have laid down some little pieces, but they don't fit well. And because of that, this paper is all popping up. It's not as crisp as the other one should have been, because when they fit in the corners well, it kind of helps to hold them down and hold them crisp. So I don't love how this one is lined. Okay, so there you have it. We have aligned the molds. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love chatting with you, and I'll chat with you on the next video. Bye.